Hello my TBDs, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be testing out something from Shop Miss A. This is a brush set. This was $10.99 on their website, and I have heard so many things about Shop Miss A that I was very curious to see, are things worth the hype? I mean, I just saw this brush set and I thought, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. So like I said, this brush set was $10.99 on the Shop Miss A website. There are 10 brushes. It says it's supposed to have minimal shedding because of the way that these brushes were made. They're very soft eyeshadow brushes. Smaller ones are perfect for doing details around the eyes. It says firmly secured bristles for minimal shedding, and the bristles are synthetic, which means all of our brushes are cruelty free. On the website, it says that it is in collaboration with the animal charity program. So I don't know if when you buy this, a portion of the proceeds go to this animal charity program, but it is something that caught my eye and I wanted to test it out. If you are ready to see how these brushes perform and whether I think they're great or if I think they are trashed, then just keep on watching. Be sure to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Also, I'm digging my hair. Like, I think I should just wear it like this to work. Here are the brushes up close. They do come in this really nice, like, hard container that you can travel with, and they have clips. So I am just going to undo these clips and then take them off, and here are all of the brushes in brand new packaging. I really wanted new brushes for my eyes. I feel like I don't have enough brushes to blend out my eyeshadow and to place eyeshadow, so I really wanted to try different brushes for my eyes and see if these are any good. These are pretty much $1 a piece and they come in a pack of 10. I want to start playing around with it. The rest of my makeup is done. I'm going to be using the Kathleen Lights Dream Street palette with ColourPop to do my eye makeup today. First we have this brush right here. It is kind of a denser little brush for your crease. This brush would be great to use in your crease when you are just packing that color on at the very end. And then this is the next brush. This is a nice fluffy brush, which I love to put into the crease. I love blending out eyeshadows with this brush. It kind of reminds me of this brush from Sigma. This is the E40 brush. So that's kind of the difference. This one is a little bit more fluffy. I actually prefer a little bit more of a fluffy brush. This is my all-time favorite blending brush for my crease, and they are pretty dang similar. This one just has a little bit longer hairs. So I think I'm gonna like this brush a lot. And then the next one, I don't really see a whole lot of use for. It's like this diagonal type of deal. I don't really know what I would use this for, to be honest. We'll see if I can make this work. Here's the next brush. It's a little bit more of a denser buffing brush, like a crease brush as well, but it's got a little bit more of a straight up and down shape as compared to this one, which is more like, this one's more fluffy and this one's a little bit more dense. This would be great also to blend out the crease with. This one is pointed at the tip as well, whereas this one is a bit more flat. By the way, these brushes feel nice and heavy, like they actually feel very nice. This would be an eyeshadow packer brush that you can pack your color onto your lid. I normally use my finger to do that. Maybe I can try this one out and see how it applies that eyeshadow color. This brush is similar to the first one I talked about with the crease. So again, this one that I talked about first is a little bit more pointed at the top, and then this one is a bit flat. Maybe this would be like to place the product, and then this would be to blend it out. Then I have a little bit of a fluffier flat brush. This might be if you are not just packing pigment, but just want an overall blowout of color, maybe using like a matte shade. This would also be great to apply that with. This is what it looks like. Then we have this itty bitty eyeliner brush. Oh no, it's an eyebrow brush. I wish that I knew that this was in here because I wouldn't have done my eyebrows. But this has a spoolie on the end, which is awesome. So you could use this to apply your eyebrow product. It's a little longer than I would like. So this is the one that I use from Anastasia. Let me show you the difference. So those are the two right there next to each other. This one is a bit longer, whereas the one that I normally use is a bit shorter and a little bit more slanted. Next I have a pencil brush, which I needed one of these. I never have anything to blend out my lower lash line, and it feels not too stiff, which I'm very excited about. So maybe this would be great to blend out your eyeshadow underneath your lower lash line. And then here's the very last one. This I think would be more to place that inner corner highlight in the inner part of your eye. It's a little stiff, so I don't know. It would be a very precise application, not very blended out or blown out, but this would be a very nice brush to get into the inner part of your eye. So here are all the brushes I'm going to be playing around with today. Let's go in. This is the Dream Street palette from Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I'm going to take this pointed blending brush and start with this shade right here. I'm going to put that in my crease. Because this brush is pointed at the end, it only picks up product on the very end of the brush, and then you can use the other bristle on the edge to blend that color out. I'm liking the way it's feeling. It's very, very soft. It's not too stiff of a brush. It's still got a little bit of movement in it, but I'm really liking how it's blending out that crease shade. Awesome. That looks very, very nice. I really like this brush. Next, I'm going to take the brush that it's similar to that, but it has a flatter top, and I'm going to take this shade right here and work that in my crease, but a little bit lower than what we just did. This brush definitely places the product a little more precisely than that first brush, but it still doesn't feel stiff. It feels very, very soft, and it looks really nice. Wow, I really like how this one blended out that color that I just placed. I really like the blending brushes. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here and start putting that in my outer crease. So I'm going to take this brush. This is the one where you can just kind of stamp it, and take this color right here, this dark brown, put that into my crease. I really like how pointed this brush is. It places the product right where I want it to. It's not too fluffy or anything, so I feel like I can get a really nice, precise application of that brown shade. I had really low expectations of this brush set, but it's actually exceeding my expectations at this point. I just think that they're really, really soft, and I really like the shape of all of them. I really like how that blended that eyeshadow out, and also just how it placed on my lid. So I like this brush as well. Let's go in with this Packer brush right here, this one. And I'm going to take this shade right here and start applying this to my lid. I don't know if it's really picking up the eyeshadow very well. I don't know if I like this brush. It feels like you might have to use some Fix Plus or something with this brush to pick up the eyeshadow. It just seems like it's moving the eyeshadow around instead of picking it up onto the brush. And it almost looks like it's applied a light application. I'm going to do the other side with my finger and show you the difference between this brush and using your finger. My finger just adds a lot more pigment to the eye look. So this is the one that I applied with my finger, and then this is the one with the brush. Seems like I got lighter coverage with a brush than I did with my finger. I would probably pass on this brush. It seems like it's not dense enough, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of how this applied that sparkly eyeshadow. I'm going to go back in with that crease brush, this one, and dip back into the brown and make sure we did not lose any color in our crease. I'm also going to take this shade right here. It's a pretty pink, and take that underneath my lower lash line with this pencil brush. I'm trying to go in with like a lighter hand because it is a very pigmented pink. I'm really liking how this is applying. I think that blended this eyeshadow out very nicely. Normally I have to go in with a definer brush and then blend it out with whatever I have that is kind of like a pencil brush, but this, I just skipped that step completely and just used a pencil brush. I really like this pencil brush a lot. There's not really a inner corner highlight in this palette, so I'm gonna take one of my highlighter palettes and go in with that corner. This one, like this brush, and take this shade. This is the ColourPop Innuendo palette, and this is the shade Glad You Came. I'm gonna see how this does. Oh yeah, this gives a very precise application. I don't know, this brush is very, very stiff. I'd probably prefer something a little more flexible to put this into my crease. Like for example, I always use this brush. This brush that I normally use has a little bit more flexibility in the bristles compared to this one that I just used. I mean, it's nice for like a precise application, but on the inside of your eye, it's nice to have the shade blown out a little bit. So this is like an eh for me. I've used all but a few brushes from this brush collection, and I gotta say, this gets a huge thumbs up for me simply because it's $10 for this entire brush set. You can spend 50 bucks on a brush set like this at Sigma, and I think that these are actually really good quality brushes, and they're, when you think about it, they're $1 each. I really do enjoy this brush set, and I'm going to be traveling with it as well. Maybe I can put some of my other like face brushes in here as well. But yeah, this definitely gets a big thumbs up for me. I do really like this brush set, and I'm going to continue to use it. I think it did a really nice job applying my eyeshadow, and I'm really happy with the end result. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!